Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi. How are we all?
All good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm very well, thank you. This miserable Monday.
I'm not feeling it, honestly. Sat in complete darkness. It's just not.
You know, we
Not
both
what we
are
asked for.
actually.
Hopefully, we can brighten you up with some training today. Obviously, so as you can see from, can you see my screen, everyone? No, you can't yet, can you?
Not yet.
Oh yeah.
No, not yet. Amazing. So I will just share my screen. You can all hear me, see me all okay?
Yeah.
Amazing, brilliant, perfect. So can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Amazing. So today's our induction training, and we're still on the old setting you up for success, and we're on part 3. So let me go to the next slide. I need another screen. Okay. So what does good look like? It's a little bit of a warm-up exercise. So I don't know if you can see the poll in the chat. It says, what do you think the fastest speed recorded on a bicycle?
Yes. Okay. So shall we submit our answers in here?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Um,
Now I think
I
it's
feel
going
like
to
my brain is making sense of this question.
It's a late in the day on a Monday.
Yeah,
So hopefully this can help warm your brains up.
Okay, I've submitted.
Amazing. Let's see what we've got. Oh, so we've got 120, 60 and 88. Amazing. So who went for the 120? Oh, we went up there. It's a good performance right there on the speed.
If I have to be completely honest, I actually did 2 answers because
Did you?
You second guess yourself.
Yeah. So it's not a
Give
fair.
yourself
Like
more
Laura should win.
opportunity. Amazing. So the fastest speed recorded on a bike is actually 174 miles per hour.
Whoa.
Which, if I was on a bike, there's not a chance I would want to be going 174 miles per hour. Don't know about you guys.
Absolutely never.
No. I think the idea of this is just to show you, actually, we think we're going fast and doing a really good performance, but actually how far can we push ourselves and what are our limitations, or how can we be performing our best? And hopefully all this sequence of training is really going to help you with your mindset on what good looks like in your role and at Faversham House, and we can grow from there. I do have a little video to share with you guys now, so hopefully this works. We shall see. Nope. 1 minute, they ask. Something's loading. Might have to reshare. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see.
Amazing. Okay, brilliant. Hopefully there's some sound. Let's try and skip the ads. Bear with me. All good. Okay. Just another video to get you thinking about performance.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely no messing around.
And that's kind of the message of this video is back in the day, that 64 seconds was like an amazing accomplishment, and that was so fast. But then obviously that was in 1950. Fast forward to 2013 and they do it in like seconds. And that's only come from people really pushing those limits and like looking at what's good to look at, what can we make more efficient, how can we work faster to really drive that driver's performance. So I think sports analogies are quite a good way of thinking about, let me just see if I can get rid of that. There we are, what good looks like. So obviously it's different in our role, we're a publisher and we're doing our events, but it might help you kind of when you're looking at your role, your processes and what you're doing, help you go, how can I make this better? What could we be doing that's more efficient and things like that? So it's just helping that mindset. But isn't that crazy, the difference in that performance?
Yeah, like you blinked and you missed the second one.
Yeah, so much. The first one, but that used to be so quick.
Yeah, I felt sorry for the guy top front right. Bless him, he was just...
Yeah, I know, he was struggling. But it's in the second one how they were all like, they all clearly had their set role. So it was like they got in, it was go, and then he was off. That was mental. Yeah. That difference is crazy.
Definitely. So hopefully we can take that into our mindset and move forwards with this training, especially today, about how we approach things and things like that. So it's just to get your mind working today. So obviously we've already covered the accountability ladder in previous training, and we've also looked at our norms. So being accountable for what we're doing and what are our norms in our teams that make us successful. And now today we're going to look at, let me just pull up my other slide to the old and new paradigm. So I've got a diagram here for you guys to have a look at. So this originates from World War II, when they were bringing people, soldiers back into the real world after being at war, and kind of introducing them back into their family life and things like that after seeing so much trauma. So they would be the role of the victim in this triangle. As you can see from the slide, they're talking about they're powerless, they're hopeless, they're stuck in this mindset, and they need to be reintroduced into life. So that's their role in this. And then they had people that would come in and want to rescue them, support them, and like help them feel more set in back into real life. So the enablers, the pain relief, that sort of role. And then you've got the persecutor. So they're quite critical, blaming, so they might be quite hard on the victim. Well, that you've done that, now you're back here, like have no kind of empathy for them. We can obviously look at this as in a workplace environment as well. So say you might feel like you're a victim sometimes if you're being told that your performance isn't very good, and you might go into quite a negative headspace. You might have a line manager that wants to rescue you but doesn't necessarily really help you grow or develop, so you feel they just enable you to be down on yourself or feel like the victim. And then you might have, say, senior management that are persecutors that are, this isn't good enough, this needs to be better, and quite critical of what you're doing. Now obviously, what sort of that work environment do you think that makes you for?
I think like low motivation, low energy, very negative. I don't think you'd get like the most out of yourself by thinking this way. Like if you're just going to kind of stay in that negative headspace, I feel like it's going to kind of show in what you do.
Yeah, like definitely unproductive as well. Like unproductive because you're unmotivated, I guess, that's what Charlotte was saying. Like, yeah, you don't, if you're not getting that feedback and you are sort of, you don't want to do the job because you're not in an environment that feels safe and comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. And if you're the person that you're working with is just enabling you to be in that space, they're not driving you to be better, you're just kind of in a circle, aren't you, of like repeating this behavior and actually, as you say, like quite a negative, demotivating space. And obviously we were at work quite a lot of the time, and I think sometimes you can even look at this in work, like home life as well. So hopefully today's training doesn't just help you with success in work but also in life, because I think if you can really build the right mindset across everything, then you'll hopefully be successful in everything and then work in itself. So this was obviously what they developed in the World War II. A lot has changed then, lots of science, lots of behavioural science, etc., neurodiversity, everything has been, obviously everyone's so much more aware of things now, and they've brought out, so we've got obviously the old one, we've got the new paradigm now, which, let me just find my slide, need another screen for this, there we go. So here's the new paradigm. So they call it the empowerment dynamic. So the victim becomes the creator, which already in itself, that word, what does that mean to you guys?
That you create, like you might not be in control of like stuff that's happening around you at work or in your personal life, but you can control and like create your own solution and how it makes you feel and how you can absolutely like thrive going forwards.
Yeah, definitely. You can create what you put out.
Yeah,
you can have that control, like you said, that control.
Like and then more like sorry
no, go for it.
I would say more like self-managing, not in terms of like managing yourself in the workplace, but like self-managing what you choose to do and how you choose to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And hopefully then that makes you feel, I don't know, more self fulfilled as well, because you're coming up with the ideas, you're putting things out there. So the rescuer becomes the coach. So if you think again, if you're line manager in this scenario, having a coach instead of a rescuer, how do you think that could be quite beneficial to you?
I guess like what we were saying for the last one, like you would actually receive that feedback, and then I guess getting feedback, and then you can improve and work together to like get the most out of your job and make sure you're achieving everything that you want to, as you should.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, same thing. And I think it almost, I want to say we use challenge, like the word challenge, but they almost like challenge you to put the work in yourself, I guess, mentally to do it, rather than just giving you a solution which actually you probably wouldn't learn from in the long run.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. And then that sense of achievement as well, doing it yourself. And obviously the coach is also going to get an achievement from that by seeing you grow and develop and feel good in your role as well. So it's a win for everyone. And then the persecutor becomes a challenger. So I think sometimes it is good to be pushed outside your comfort zone or pushed on an idea, because also that can only help you make you grow and be better. And it doesn't need to be seen as a negative, because they just want to build you up to, okay, that's a brilliant idea, but what if we pushed it to perform that a little bit better, like the pit stop, because obviously they were very happy with that 64 seconds at one point. And they've really driven that and pushed that and gone, how can we make this better? So having those sorts of people around you hopefully will support you to also be successful as well. I'll share this link as well to a TED Talk all about this if you want to obviously have a look, a bit more detail about it after we finish today. I'll just move on. So we're just talking about obviously as the creator, you've kind of got the control of how you react to things, how you can develop your role and what you're doing and come up with ideas to really progress yourself in your role. However, our brains are wired in a certain way. So we have 3 areas of our brains. We've got the primal, we've got the think part at the front, and then the feel in the middle. Now, obviously, back in the day, we used to just use the primal instincts, the fight, flight or freeze mode. And there is, obviously, as civilization has grown, we're using more of the think part of our brain. However, at the front of our cortex, there is a part that's called the amygdala. And then there is this amygdala hijack, which we just talked about, having that control about how we react. Whereas, so this part of our brain, you actually have up to 90 seconds where you have no control over how you react to a certain situation. So have you ever felt like that? Maybe you've received an email and you want to reply back angry, but you know you shouldn't, so you stop yourself.
I guess
definitely.
It's like the instant sort of like you suddenly get really hot and then you're like, oh, I'm so annoyed, and you just want to like type away at someone.
Yes.
Never
write an email angry.
You feel the response, don't you? But I guess as well, like personally, like you almost think, right, this emotion, like let's just think for a minute.
Yeah, 100%.
Because otherwise we'd all just be hot-headed, like flames everywhere.
Definitely. And again, what sort of work environment would that be if we were all just like reacting and then just being able to have those bursts in that instance?
Oh my god, that'd be awful. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Horrendous.
Would not be a good high performing environment to be working in. So I think being aware of this, and also being wired 2/3 fear in our brains because of the caveman times, because there was a real like threat to life, I suppose, on a daily basis. But obviously it's very different for us now, but we still have that inner fear. So it's really learning how to kind of, that up to 90 seconds you have no control, and you've obviously physically felt it as well, like Charlotte, you mentioned feeling hot and you feeling that response, but you're aware of it. So that self-awareness should be able to be like, take a pause, give myself a minute, and then okay, let's react in like a positive way, or how can I become the creator instead of the victim. So it's quite a good, oh, I'm in the old paradigm, let's stay in the new paradigm. Take that time to really think about where your mindset's at. But it is a natural thing to have that reaction. So it's kind of the brain is a muscle at the end of the day. So kind of practicing it and being self-aware, and then hopefully that muscle will build, and then you won't have those scenarios so often, and you'll be able to control how you react to situations.
Sorry.
Yeah. Do you feel like that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's not just like how it sometimes comes out in like you'll get an email and you get really angry. It's also like anxiety with it. It's like when someone like will message you saying, oh, can I speak to you tomorrow or something, and it's that instant anxiety to go, oh my gosh, what have I done, what's happening, kind of thing. And I guess just like taking a second from that, or 90 seconds from that, to kind of like rationalize it, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. So hopefully these are some useful techniques for you to take into everyday life at Faversham House. Do you have any questions or key takeaways from today's session?
I think I'm just trying to think, like, I think it'd be really interesting and really helpful to think about like, because obviously if you have like the old paradigm, then that is the old paradigm, the new paradigm, you can't control like those external factors, like what goes on around you to an extent of like what other people do. But I think life always throws challenges at like your way, and you can't predict them. So I think by you becoming the creator, or like in charge of your own responses, and actually trying to be proactive about it and think in a positive headspace, I think will only like you said, Kelly, like get you to where you want to be, or I don't know, faster. Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than sitting in the old paradigm where you, like you said, you wouldn't really develop. So I think it's a really interesting analogy to think about, especially I guess in real time when stuff like this does happen, because it does, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I was a bit wordy, but I think I made sense.
No, 100%, definitely. There's external influences, but you can only control yourself and how you react to that. Self-awareness and that self-responsibility. But if you break it down to self-responsibility, so it's your ability to how you respond for yourself in situations.
Yeah,
definitely. Lots of words again, but it's an interesting subject. How about you, Laura?
I think what we were just saying about like the 90 seconds, like waiting 90 seconds before you respond to something, because I've like fallen for it so many times where I'll be upset about an email I've got or something, and I'll go back with a response that probably isn't what I really should be saying and isn't going to achieve anything. So I think being more productive in like rationalizing the situation first, like looking at the whole situation instead of just focusing on one email I might have got from someone who's not having a good day or didn't intend it to be taken like that. It's just, taking that time to just kind of look at it. I mean, it's 90 seconds of your life, you can deal with it. So 100%. I think that's really interesting, actually. I need to practice that. Take
a moment just to refresh, and also remember other people might be in the old paradigm, but it doesn't mean that you need to be. So you can also manage your energy around those people. And you can also, I know we talked about certain roles, like you being the report, your line manager and senior management, but you can be the persecutor to yourself as well. You can be quite hard on yourself and things like that. So it's also being aware of different roles that you could be within the paradigm, and just making sure you stay in a safe place for you, so you can be like your best self forward. Amazing. Well, brilliant. Thanks so much for your time today, ladies.
Thank you. That was really interesting.
That was so interesting. Thank you, Kelly.
No problem. I'll see you in part 4.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.